Did I give you that time?
No, you didn't.
Meeting comes to order. City Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Biendo.
Here.
Councilmember Villanueva. Here. Councilmember Alton.
Here.
Councilmember Woodard.
Here.
Councilmember Hall.
Here.
Thank you.
Would everyone please stand and join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. City Manager, do you have a report?
Okay, nothing to report tonight, Vice Mayor.
City Attorney report.
No report this evening, thank you.
Okay, that moves us to our rather large consent agenda. Does anyone have any items they would like to pull from consent?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second. So that's got a first and a second. We're going to do roll call vote tonight, Council. So, City Clerk.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Councilmember Biendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Villanueva. Councilmember Alton. Councilmember Woodard.
Yes.
Councilmember Hall. Thank you. That's a unanimous vote.
Okay. Regular agenda item. City Clerk, first item.
Yes, thank you. That's consideration and action on the appointment of 3 new members for the Surprise Municipal Property Corporation Board as follows. Kevin Brooker for a 3-year term ending on March 13, 2015. Maria Gonzalez, 2-year term ending on March 13, 2014. And Ken Wright, 1-year term ending on March 13, 2013. And this is Councilmember Biendo's item.
Thank you. Councilmember Alton, Councilmember Hall, Mr. McCarty, and I interviewed several applicants for the Municipal Property Corporation Board. We're pleased to recommend to Council the following, and if you'll please stand when I call your name. Kevin Brooker. Kevin has 22 years' experience in finance. He's also president of Silverleaf Financial. Maria Gonzalez. Maria is Senior Financial Analyst with American Express. Maria also has an MBA from the University of Phoenix. And Ken Wright, who has 25 years' experience as Public Works Field Operations Supervisor with the City of Flint, Michigan. Mr. Chairman, we'd like to do individual votes on these, and we'd like to do them by voice vote. So first, we recommend the appointment of Kevin Brooker to a 3-year term on the Municipal Property Corporation Board.
Is that
Second.
you need a motion? That was a motion and a second.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the motion.
Go ahead and make the motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion. I think we were going to take them one at a time.
One at a time?
So, does you want to nominate one?
I nominate Kevin Butcher for the 3-year.
For the 3-year term. Right.
And a second? Anyone?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. City Clerk, is there any people from the public that would like to speak on any of these before we?
No, there is
vote?
not.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
That's fine.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Councilmember Biendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Villanueva. Councilmember Alton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodard.
Yes.
Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a unanimous vote.
Secondly, we recommend the appointment of Maria Gonzalez to a 2-year term on the MPC Board.
I'll make a motion to appoint.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Councilmember Biendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Villanueva.
Yes.
Councilmember Alton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodard.
Yes.
Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a unanimous vote.
And lastly, we recommend the appointment of Ken Wright to a 1-year term on the MPC Board.
Second. Or I make a motion to nominate Ken Wright to the MPC Board.
Second. There's a motion and a second.
Yes. Vice Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Councilmember Biendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Villanueva. Councilmember Alton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodard.
I will abstain due to a very close relationship with Mr. Wright.
Thank you. And Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Okay, that's 5 yes vote, 1 abstained.
Thank you.
That item passed.
Okay, thank you and congratulations. All right, City Clerk, next item.
Item number 3, consideration and action on Resolution 2012-22, authorizing the City of Surprise Fire Department to enter into a delegation agreement with the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, that's ADEQ, to perform specific functions and duties in accordance with the terms of the agreement.
Mayor and Council, Mr. Hillman, for your consideration tonight is Resolution 2012-22, authorizing the Fire Department to enter into this delegation agreement with the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. The purpose of the agreement is to partner with ADEQ so that we can regulate underground storage tanks that you're familiar with at gas stations, et cetera. Arizona statute allows for cities with a population greater than 100,000, they can enter into this delegation agreement with ADEQ so that we can do this. The regulation includes the installation, the removal of tanks, any type of remediation or tank closures or response to underground incidents. ADEQ, they're the ones that issue the permits, and we can invoice ADEQ and get reimbursed $375 per inspection, and that expires in 2016. So that includes my long presentation. Have any questions for you?
Chief?
Yes, sir.
What's the extent of your inspection?
The extent of it is, one, is to make sure that it complies with all the fire code regulations. And then they also have some specialized training with DEQ. Because we also, you know, in say, a remedial tank where they're digging one up, we're going to be looking for any spent fuels that are in the ground for any contamination. And then those laws will apply that they would have to dig out and remediate that dirt and bring in backfill.
What kind of annual inspections do you do on existing facilities?
Well, we do the regular commercial inspection, you know, as far as the at a gas station, you know, just the building itself. With new tanks and with them being compartmentized inside a vault, would you say, is that we have to enter that space and we analyze the air with a combustible gas indicator, making sure there are no flammable vapors that are present. And then it's down in the vault is more of a visual. DEQ can come in later on to do soil samples below that, but we're just their arm of the DEQ that can do those types of inspections.
Is this going to cost the city any money?
No, sir. We can be reimbursed $75 per inspection. I don't expect a lot of revenue off of it because unless we get a lot of gas stations. But, I mean, this could be water tanks, et cetera. So anything that goes below the surface, we will have the ability to regulate.
Does the city have any below-the-ground tanks now?
Does the city of Surprise own any?
Below the ground?
I can't think. We very well may. I'm not sure. I couldn't give you I would have to probably confer with Mr. Beckley.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
City Clerk, is there anybody from public who wishes to speak on this item?
No, Vice Mayor.
If no further discussion, a motion and a second.
I move to approve resolution number 2012-22, authorizing the City of Surprise Fire Department to enter into a delegation agreement with the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality to perform specific functions and duties in accordance with the terms of the agreement.
Second.
Motion and a second. City Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Williams?
Yes.
Councilmember Viando?
Yes.
Councilmember Villanueva? Councilmember Alton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodard?
Yes.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Thank you, unanimous vote.
Thank you, City Clerk.
Item number 4, consideration and action on purchase of lighting and energy retrofit material from U.S. Energy as part of the Mojave Cooperative Contract in an amount not to exceed $67,829.17.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, members of council. The item before you tonight is the award of an equipment purchase to a contractor on the Mojave Purchasing Cooperative that the city is taking advantage of. This is in connection with our block grant, energy block grant, that we were successful in obtaining 2 years ago in the amount of $812,000. There were three major components of that grant, actually two. The first was an installation of solar panels on the garage of this building. Second was an energy audit done on a number of city facilities. Part of that audit identified situations throughout the complex, the facilities, where we were losing energy because of inefficient equipment. As we progressed through the project, we determined that based on the cost of the solar panels and the cost of the study that we employed, we also are using an energy tracker system that we added to this umbrella of improvements. We had approximately $67,000 remaining of the $812,000. So after consulting with the Department of Energy, we were able to have approved the purchase of equipment to replace inefficient equipment at some of our facilities. In this case, the sports complex, the clubhouses and the stadium areas, the batting cages, have inefficient lighting, so this equipment will be purchased and then installed by our employees over the next, probably the next year. It's estimated that once all the equipment is installed, there'll be a savings of approximately $30,000 a year. So it's a very, there's a lot of benefit to this improvement. So we ask your approval to award this contract. Once it's awarded, then we will send that obligation to the federal government, which there's a deadline coming up shortly on that. And then we will be reimbursed for that in the full amount. So I'd be happy to take any questions.
Council, any questions?
Yeah, I got one. Who did the analysis on the savings? Did we do it, or?
LS&A, that's the consultant that did the original audit, and then we took their data and then we did further analysis on it.
I see. Okay. Thanks.
City Clerk, is there anyone from public who wishes to comment?
No, Vice Mayor.
Council, motion and a second.
Yeah, I move to approve the purchase of U.S. Energy from U.S. Energy in the amount of $67,829.17.
Second.
Motion and a second. City Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Councilmember Biendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Villanueva. Councilmember Alton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodard.
Yes.
Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Unanimous yes vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Berkeley. Okay, we now move to call to the public.
Yes, we have two speakers. The first will be Bob Vukanovich.
Council members, my thing was mainly directed to the mayor, but I can modify this a little bit because I think we should all be concerned about this here. The mayor, there's an article in the paper here that says, this is what the mayor said, those of us living in Surprise would like to address you and the city council about an article in the Arizona Republic that said, throughout the campaign last summer and fall, Walcott warned voters that they had been kept in the dark about the extent of the city's accounting issues. Other city leaders and activists have murmured about deeper problems for months. If we have these issues and we think it's been kept in a dark or a cover-up, I believe this council is obligated to tell us citizens exactly what it was. It says we were kept in a... So I'll ask you, council members, were we kept in the dark, and I'm modifying this a little bit because she's not here, were we kept in the dark when you guys were all active members of the city council? If you guys were on a council and we were kept in the dark, who initiated this? Did you initiate it? How'd you perform this here? And I was asking, were you referring to the firing of city manager Randy Oliver without cause? Was that one of the things that we were kept in the dark because we had no reason for why he was fired? It cost us over $100,000. And did you perceive it as a method to keep us in the dark when you and the council had the city attorney hire an auditor instead of the city council? You guys generally hire the auditor, but we were kept in the dark about that audit because you had the city attorney. So you had the city attorney and client privilege. You didn't even want to give us the audit. As a member of the council, did you first see the draft of the Red Oak report in an executive session in December 2010? I can't find any record of you guys seeing that Red Oak draft, other than if it was in an executive session. And I believe that might have been an open meeting law violation if you took that draft into an executive session and talked about it. Would the council have let us see the Red Oak report if it were not for the Arizona Republic? And that cost us $10,000 because the city attorney didn't want to give Arizona Republic the audit, so we'd be able to see it. Cost us $10,000. So in the speech to the Chamber of Commerce, she said, "We have to repair the damage done to our bond rating and our credibility by owning the mistakes of past administration. We have spoken often about the problem of misdirected impact fee fund and are working to understand what unreported challenges remain to be addressed." So what I am saying, after spending over $500,000 in auditors and staff, we still haven't gotten to the bottom of this debacle. How much are we going to spend for these auditors? All this staff, auditors, over $500,000. That's way not a desirable situation to be in. And since she's taken office, this is almost 3 months now, at this council I have a meeting about the city finances. Apparently, even today, I made mine a week ago, but even today there's an article about the finances in the Arizona Republic again. You guys should address this. You should talk about it. We should have meetings about this, clarify this problem that we have. Where's the openness and transparency we were promised? Maybe your definition of transparency is different than mine. There's a lot of different transparencies. Even today, who is watching our money? It does not appear that you and the council are following the advice of the Red Oak report. And I put this in the record, and I appreciate you letting me talk. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Judy Blackburn.
Good evening, Council, Vice Mayor. I just have a few things I wanted to talk about today. One was in respect to the call to the public. I don't want you to forget about that call to the public because that's very important to the people. This is the people's chambers. Remember how you were voted in here to talk about for the people, listening to the people, how you really wanted comments from the people. Well, that's important. It's important for our citizens, and they should be able to come up and speak without waiting hours at the end of the meeting. That's ridiculous. Put it back on the first of the agenda, please. I mean, think about that, and please talk about it, because some of these people that come here to speak, they might have a real problem, and they're disabled, or they're older. They can't sit through a 2 or 3 hour meeting or whatever it is. So anyway, enough said about that. Since the mayor's not here tonight, this is really directed to her, but I wanted to go ahead and speak. She'll hear it. In all due respect for the people of Surprise, we can't allow pay and compensation for a part-time mayor to have an assistant that would cost our city close to $100,000. That is just utterly ridiculous. We have maybe 19,000 people in our city. We don't need an assistant that's costing our citizens that kind of money. People don't have it nowadays. We can't be spending that kind of money for an assistant. She's got other assistants here. I mean, there's council to help her. There's city clerk Sherry to help her. There's, it's just ridiculous. I know it's already done, but that's our money. Also, a part-time assistant or a full-time assistant, whatever she is, That's not speaking to the mayor. If people in the city have a problem and they really want to speak to the mayor about it, they don't want someone else to have to go through before they can really get their point across. They want to speak to who they elected, which was Sharon Wilcott, our mayor. The barriers that have been put up with our city council through doing this kind of thing, it's not right. The people deserve to have a mayor to speak to, not an assistant that they have to go through, and then perhaps she'll answer their call or have her assistant probably answer the call. We don't need this. We don't need an assistant for $100,000. Our city can't afford it. So that's what I'm saying. We don't need to put up barriers. That's also a barrier with a call to the public. It's the same kind of thing. Why don't you want the people to speak? You're putting it down at the end of the meeting. You're even putting it on the internet, which is a good thing, but you're asking for it like hours before the meeting, or I think that's what it was. Anyway, it's evident that you don't really want to hear from the people. No transparency at all. So I know you're trying to do a good job. I respect you, and I do thank you for all the work that you do here. But there needs to be some more transparency. There needs to be more work for the people. You were elected by the people. It's supposed to be for the people. Please consider that, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
That is all, Vice Mayor.
All right, we go to mayor and council reports. Councilmember Woodard, you want to start?
I really have nothing to report. I've been out of town for several weeks, so I'll pass.
Thanks, Vice Mayor. Just a couple of things. We had a surprise Regional Chamber of Commerce Awards this last Friday night, and I just wanted to let you know that the Citizen of the Year for the City of Surprise was given to Mark Coronado for all his work in the Parks and Rec, what he's contributed to the economy and businesses through spring training, and also his service to the city as interim city manager. So I was honored to give him the award, and I just thought I'd let you know. The other thing is we had that barbecue festival, and I think Mark is going to be here at our next meeting to give you a detailed report on the festival. But I can tell you we had right at 6,200 people. They planned for 4,000 to 4,500, and it came in at 6,200. So we had a meeting today with the gentleman who owns the company that put the festival on, and we did a debriefing on certain service issues and mechanical issues and ingress and egress and parking, and we went through the whole thing with him. And I think next year is going to be a lot better. He wants to do it again, and we want him to do it again. But Mark will have a detailed report in 2 weeks for you. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Councilmember Hall. Councilmember Biondo.
Yes, thank you. Just a couple of items. Melissa Holdaway, whom many of you know, I think, who's CEO of Arizona Charter Academy, and I met with all the Sun City Grand Club presidents recently. There were about 65 of them, and we specifically wanted to discuss volunteer tutors and mentors for the students, and it was very well received. The initiative for that was very well received by the club presidents, and Ms. Holdaway is doing some follow-up with them, even to the point of perhaps having one club come in successive weeks to talk to those students, because there's that tremendous breadth and depth of knowledge and experience out in those communities, Sun City Grand, Arizona Traditions, and many others. And that I like the term that Melissa often uses about generational transfer of knowledge, and that's really the fundamental purpose of the tutor and mentoring programs. So she was very well received by the club presidents. Secondly, I held a community meeting this past Saturday, the second of them, with residents of Section 10. I tried to think how to characterize the meeting this Saturday. I think I can say it was a lively discussion. Might be a good way to characterize it. One of the more sensitive topics was code enforcement. So we talked about code enforcement. Our code enforcement officer, I might say, handled himself very professionally. He truly was a credit to the city in the way he responded to the questions and handled himself. So I'd like to thank Jeff Mihalik, of course, Christina Ramirez, Jason from Code Enforcement, and one of our newer police officers, Lieutenant Mark Eckert, who also made a point to be there. We're going to have another meeting again in April, so we're continuing dialogue with Section 10 about some of the specific needs for that community. Lastly, I want to express thanks to Jeff, Mark Coronado, and Tara Combs for working with Connie Whitlock of the WHAM organization. They're processing through this first major event, really, for the city, which is the Art is Alive and Surprise event that's coming up March 31st and April 1st. So Mark and Tara Combs and others have been working with Connie to try to facilitate the process to the extent they can and still remain within the parameters of the rules and regulations of the city. So the dialogue has been good, and I think they're moving forward very well with that. So I want to express public thanks to them. That's all.
Thank you. Councilmember Villanueva?
No, I don't have a report.
Councilmember Alton?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We have to find a different name for Section 10. And if staff could come up with a different name other than identifying Section 10, it just sounds so bad. These people are great people, and it does not give them a persona that needs to be prevailed. So if we could come up as a city staff, maybe something Acres or Happy Acres or whatever, but Section 10, nah, it doesn't do it for me.
I think there is a name.
Martin Acres.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I can clarify that, because we had some discussion about that, and in fact, one of the people who may be here in the audience after our last month's meeting went back and tried to sift through some historical information about that area, and my understanding is that one portion of it is called Martin Acres, but I guess that term doesn't apply to the entirety of what is called Section 10. So your point is well taken, and so is yours. Martin Acres defines, I think, a portion of that whole area that was annexed probably about 10 years ago.
But if we could do something about that, that would be great. The barbecue and that whole thing was just fantastic. We could so monopolize that going forward. We could bundle maybe the arts and the culture, and it was with a ASU baseball game, I believe. There was not enough adequate parking, and we had people off nowhere walking in trying to get into the park. But that was just a very typical event that we can host every year that could just get greater and greater and greater. And my hat goes off to the vendors that put it on. They did a remarkable job. With the foresight of maybe 4,000 people, we need more vendors, food vendors, to provide more food and less lines. That would be great. And we need to do maybe a better job of marketing our city in the city, because I believe the majority of the people came from outside the city. Mm-hmm. And doing a sampling of questions to existing homeowners in Surprise, nobody ever came. They didn't even think about it. So we need to get the word out a little bit better for the city. Other than that, Vice Mayor, I have nothing else to report.
Thank you, Councilmember Alton. Just a couple of quick things. I had the opportunity, the first opportunity in 4 years, I went back to D.C. with our Intergov Director, Michael Celaya, our City Manager, Chris Hillman, and Mayor Walcott. I sent out an email to residents in addition to council. You should get it from Nicole Neary, our assistant. and it kind of depicted a summary of every day. And I really tried to provide as much detail as possible to give everybody kind of an overview of what went on there and what we discussed and the purpose and the intent and what kind of came out of that. And just kind of a quick overview, we had 6 congressional visits with our delegates here in Arizona. All of those discussions went very well. Congressman Trent Franks was fantastic. It was almost nearly 45 minutes to an hour, which is unheard of in terms of that kind of presentation and discussion with the congressman. We met with the Chief of Staff of Senator Orrin Hatch, which was a fascinating, eye-opening experience as well. And also part of that was the Transportation and Infrastructure Conference. I listened to a lot of different speakers talk on a lot of different subjects, mainly on big picture transportation stuff. Maria J. Fernandez is part of the Commissioner for Transportation to Spain, and she spoke on what they did in terms of really innovative financing to get high-speed rail from Paris to Madrid. And it was just a fascinating, eye-opening discussion on different things that we can do, not just at the national level, but the local level. So all of that stuff is in my report, and anybody that wants it from the public watching on TV or in the audience, please give me your email and I will send all that information to you. The final piece to that conference, we listened to Victor Menendez, who is formerly the director of Arizona Department of Transportation. He is now the administrator, the director of the Federal Highway Administration. And his final piece that he talked about was on safety and highway safety and driving safety. And he gave us a story on a wreck with a girl who was on her cell phone, didn't have her seatbelt on, and wrapped herself around a tree. Want to look at, and I skipped over future agenda items, but perhaps just as a directive, to see if our city attorney's office and our police department can look at a local policy on distracted driving, texting and driving, those types of things, as a way to kind of maybe take a lead or maybe work through our InterGov office with our local reps on some sort of policy for Arizona in terms of distracted driving. So that's regarding DC. And then the last thing I have is it is Fix a Leak Week. Before you judge, Fix a Leak Week in the city of Surprise, Arizona, is about conserving water and fixing your plumbing. It's from March 12th to March 18th, and I encourage residents to conserve water, check your plumbing and your water out front and your drip systems and all of that, and I'll go home and do that because I think I got a few leaks. So, City Attorney, is there any executive session?
No.
All right.
Vice Mayor, do you
Yes,
want to go
I'm
ahead
sorry.
and ask about the future agenda items so we have it on record?
Yes. Does any council member have any future agenda items? I apologize. That would be no. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
So in this case, there was no
Hi, I'm Diane Arthur. Welcome to Surprise Progress TV, your connection to the city of Surprise. We're celebrating 10 years of spring training baseball in Surprise, and this year, you won't want to miss a minute of the action. Check out the schedule and other great promotions throughout the month of March at surprisespringtraining.com. Be sure and check out the Arts is Alive in Surprise Community Arts Festival, the final weekend of spring training. Yeah, you can enjoy a game at the stadium, then head on over to the community park and enjoy the very best in local art. The Art Festival is a two-day event, March 31st and April 1st. You can learn more by clicking the city's web calendar at surpriseaz.gov. Surprise Mayor Sharon Wolcott will deliver her first State of the City speech on Monday, March the 19th at 10 a.m. here at Surprise City Hall, and you are welcome to attend. Mayor Wolcott says her speech will detail a vision of where our priorities and opportunities can help lead the city in the future and openly discuss some challenges along the way. The mayor's speech will be replayed right here on Surprise 11, and we'll post it online at surpriseaz.gov. Surprise residents have a new option for being heard by the Surprise City Council. A new online call to the public form allows you to alert the city clerk of your intention to speak at a council meeting before you ever leave your home. The online fillable form is available on the mayor, council, and city clerk web pages at surpriseaz.gov. You can email the form directly to the clerk at least 1 hour prior to the meeting time, or you can print it and bring it with you to the meeting. Forms will also still be available to fill out at each meeting at the table as you enter chambers. For more information, contact the city clerk at 623-222-1200. Would you like to help set the foundations for the future of Surprise? Then be sure and fill out an application to serve on the new General Plan Advisory Committee. This group will help advise the city throughout the General Plan 2030 process. The committee will meet at least once a month for a period of 6 to 9 months or until the draft general plan has been finalized. You can pick up an application in the city clerk's office or download one online under the Boards and Commissions page at surpriseaz.gov. All applications are due into the city clerk no later than March the 14th. The City of Surprise is inviting environmentally friendly and health-oriented businesses to apply as a vendor at the Be Green and Be Healthy Fair, April 21st at Surprise Stadium. Fair runs 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, this fourth annual event embraces eco-friendly products, services, and organizations and focuses on healthy lifestyles for all. Booth space is limited. The cost is $50. Applications are available online at surpriseaz.gov/special events and are due on April 4th. Are you utilizing social media in your business outreach plan? If not, find out why you should be at a free social media for business event. It's coming up March 21st. Scott Voss, owner and business development director for Surprise-based Patronus Marketing, will help you understand the difference between the mindset of users on various social media sites and then identify the best social media channels for your business. The seminar is scheduled 10 a.m. to noon in the Building D at the AZ Accelerator. Register by calling 623-222-3322. Surprise residents, homeowner association board members, and management company staff all encouraged to attend the March 21st Surprise HOA Connection. This meeting focuses on landscape issues in residential communities. Connection runs 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. inside of the Public Safety Building Auditorium. You can register by calling 222-3242. And this week, the fine folks at Dice Art shows us how two schools teamed up together to celebrate at the Arizona Centennial and to learn more about the history of the 48th state.
Here's our wish to our dear state, a happy birthday on this date.
On February 14th of this year, Marley Park and Canyon Ridge students culminated their 2-month-long project with a celebration to honor the Arizona Centennial. This cross-curricular, cross-campus, and multi-generational endeavor featured a variety of activities in conjunction with the American Association of University Women and the West Valley Genealogical Society.
We were working on a project to kind of collaborate our Canyon students and our Cambridge students in ways that they could both learn from each other and, of course, learn about our statehood and our history. Along the way, we've developed projects that incorporated technology, that incorporated collaboration, that still had a lot of our basic skills in it as far as writing and sketching and art.
Some of the more prominent projects the students worked on included research, collages, murals, and an essay contest.
Our children through this project have had the opportunity not only to research various historical figures, they've actually dressed up today and performed as those figures. They've been the audience for our senior members from Sun City who came in and performed for our kids as historical figures. The idea is to bring history alive and make them see that it's applicable to what goes on today. And to understand the present, they have to have a clear understanding and, if you will, even an affection for the past.
This once-in-a-lifetime chance for these students to celebrate a centennial in Arizona marked a unique opportunity to learn about the history of the 48th state, while hopefully using that knowledge for the betterment of the next 100 years.
When you're a part of a great country and a great state, you have to learn from what that state was made out of.
They're going to be forming the years in the next century that comes in our state, and they really have to have a grasp of where Arizona has been so they can make a better tomorrow.
And on behalf of the City of Surprise, we want to thank you for watching and hope you have a great week. For 10 years, they've been greeting you, the fans, in the parking lot and welcoming you with a warm smile as you enter Surprise Stadium. They are the Surprise Sun Dancers, the spring training all-volunteer corps of the Kansas City Royals, Texas Rangers, and the City of Surprise.
People in the yellow shirts are really happy to see them, and everything is so great here anyway. It's a beautiful ballpark. So what's not to like?
This dedicated group enjoys meeting new baseball fans and rekindling friendships with those who've been coming to the ballpark since the very beginning.
It's a nice atmosphere. You're representing the City of Surprise, and you feel very good about it.
There are 750 men and women serving as Surprise Sun Dancers, and there's always room for one more.
If you like baseball, or you even enjoy being around people and helping people, this is a place you should be.
As a nonprofit, the Surprise Sun Dancers also raise money to support youth-related programs in the West Valley, and they can be seen at other signature city events, lending a helping hand.
I don't know how things could be better.
Thank you, Surprise Sun Dancers, for 10 amazing years of service. Did you know that one of the best ways to support your community is by shopping right here in beautiful Surprise? Retail sales taxes help pay for vital city services, including road improvements, public safety, and much more. No need to waste the gas and drive all over the valley. Surprise offers an eclectic mix of shops and restaurants. From national chains to independent small businesses, you're sure to find what you need, so do your part and be surprised by surprise.
Welcome to the Chamber Minute. My name is David Moss, President and CEO of the Surprise Regional Chamber of Commerce, serving the communities of Surprise, El Mirage, Sun City West, and Youngtown.
We begin the month of March with our Capture a Customer training workshop on March 7th at 6 p.m. This is where members will learn to use the free online marketing and referral system the Chamber membership provides at no additional cost. On Thursday, March 8th, the Chamber will be holding its monthly Can't Miss Mixer. The event will be at the Marley's Restaurant and Bar in Surprise and will run from 5 until 7 p.m. Don't miss out on the food, drinks, prizes, and fun. This event is always well attended and is for Chamber members only. On Friday, March 9th, the Chamber will be holding its annual Spirit of the Community Awards banquet at the Colonnade in Surprise. We will be recognizing businesses, volunteers, nonprofits, and citizens of the year for each of the 5 communities the Chamber represents. On Tuesday, March 13th, we'll be holding our monthly Chamber of Commerce breakfast at 7:30. This will be our 3rd annual breakfast at the ballpark. The event will be held in the outfield party tent at the Surprise Stadium. This is always a much-anticipated event, and we look forward to another great breakfast with plenty of prizes being given away. We want to thank Community and Recreation Services Department for making this annual event possible. As always, in addition to the great speakers, you'll enjoy a great breakfast and networking opportunities. On Thursday, March 15th, we'll be holding our Sam's Club networking meeting at the Sam's Club on Bell and the 303 in Surprise. This monthly event starts at 7:30 a.m. and is open to Chamber and non-Chamber members. Come meet other business owners and take advantage of the opportunity to tell the group about your organization. As always, we want to thank Sam's Club for their support with these regular networking meetings. On Tuesday, March 20th, we'll be holding our quarterly Power Women in Business Luncheon. The featured speaker at this event will be Catherine Sakala, Valley of the Sun United Way Chief Operating Officer. The event will be held at the Sky Restaurant in Peoria. Seating for this event is limited, as it is one of the Chamber's signature events. We'll be holding our monthly Business Education Seminar at the Ultrastar Theater in Surprise. This month, we continue our marketing-focused series with Tom Trush, a direct response copywriter, marketing strategist, and founder of Right Way Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. His presentation is called How to Create Credibility When Marketing to Skeptical Prospects. This is Tom's 3rd presentation of a larger series, and the attendance continues to grow. If you want to do a better job marketing to customers, you need to be at this event. Both Chamber members and non-Chamber members are invited at no cost to this event. As always, we'll provide a continental breakfast for all attendees. On March 31st, we're proud to support the American Cancer Society's local fundraiser, Relay for Life, to support programs and research for all cancers. There will be family-friendly events, fun, and food. Come help us celebrate those who have survived during our Survivor Lap. Help us remember those who have lost their fight during our Luminara Lap. The event is free, and the official opening ceremony begins at 3 p.m. at Valley Vista High School. Also on March 31st, the WHAM Art Association, in partnership with the City of Surprise and the Surprise Regional Chamber of Commerce, will present the first annual Art is Alive in Surprise Community Arts Festival. The event will take place at the Dreamcatcher Park in Surprise from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, March 31st and Sunday, April 1st. Come celebrate the arts with 2 days of entertainment for the entire family. You'll be able to view and purchase artwork created by local artists and join them for hands-on demonstrations. Listen to local musicians, and create and contribute a tile for the community mural. For more information about this event, as well as all other events such as local business ribbon cuttings and grand openings, go to the Chamber's website at www.surpriseregionalchamber.com to view the scrolling calendar on the homepage, or call us at the Chamber offices, 623-583-0692.
Thanks for joining us for this month's Chamber Minute.
If you wouldn't post it for the world to see. Don't post it online. A message from the Arizona Crime Prevention Association.
This just in, Felix is going out to dinner tonight. Chimichangas.
Let's meet your Surprise City Council. Mayor Sharon Wolcott was elected November 2011 on a platform that called for creating more jobs, providing new education options, and addressing traffic congestion in our city. As a former District 1 council member, Sharon worked hard to bring about more fiscal accountability and transparency at City Hall and intends to continue the fight for taxpayers as mayor. Sharon discovered Surprise in 2003 and was appointed to the Surprise Transportation Commission, serving as vice chair in 2008. She was elected to the Surprise City Council in 2009. Before coming to our community, Sharon previously served on the City Council in Newport, Minnesota, and as a state legislator in both the Minnesota House and Senate. Sharon believes city government works best when elected officials and their senior staff members take time away from City Hall to engage residents on the issues. And in addition to City Council meetings and work sessions, you'll find her at the regular town hall meetings in neighborhoods across Surprise.
Jim Biendo was appointed District 1 council member in June of 2011. He's been a resident of Surprise since 2003. Jim served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1954 to 1957. Following military service, he attended college in Colorado and received Bachelor of Arts and Master's degrees in English, Speech, and Theater, and continued studies in a postgraduate doctoral program. Jim has had a career in education as a high school teacher, associate professor, and administrator at colleges in Colorado, Iowa, Arizona, and Missouri. He's also pursued a parallel track in public service as a council member at large, and he's been on the boards of directors of chambers of commerce, convention and visitors bureaus, and civic service organizations. Before his appointment to the Surprise City Council, Jim served on the city's Arts and Cultural Advisory Board. He is the author of 2 books, several published poems, and over 30 published articles. He retired in 2000 from Southeast Missouri State University, where he served as assistant to the president. Jim and his wife Antoinette have 3 daughters and 4 grandchildren.
Richard Alton represents District 2. He was first elected in 2007 and re-elected in November 2011. Richard is not new to City of Surprise committees and commissions. Since arriving in Surprise in 2003, he served as a member of the Surprise Revitalization Committee, now known as Quality of Life Commission. He served on the Ad Hoc Committee to analyze and recommend an auto mileage reimbursement method based on the IRS standards, and served as a commissioner on the Surprise Planning and Zoning Commission. His experience on the council and commissions has given him valuable insight into the complexities and importance of zoning decisions, planning strategies, and redeveloping needy areas, while his 35 years in the banking industry serves as a valuable asset in the city's budgeting and planning processes. Richard is addressing Surprise's urgent transportation needs and making an impact in economic development strategies and networking. He's committed to enhancing the communications between citizens and the council regarding council agenda items. Richard and his wife relocated to Surprise from Seattle, Washington. He has 6 children and 11 grandchildren.
John Williams was elected to the City Council from District 3 in 2007 and re-elected in November of 2011. As a teacher, parent, and husband, John brings a community perspective to his commitment to serve as a voice for all residents. John has been in education and sports medicine since he and his wife Melissa bought their home in Surprise in 2000. John and Melissa have 3 children, and as animal lovers, they have opened their home to numerous animals in need. A graduate of Hofstra University in New York, John also holds a master's in health sciences from Towson University in Maryland. John is a certified teacher and for the last several years has been building the Peoria Unified School District's Career and Technical Education Sports Medicine program, selected by his peers to lead the program. John's vision for Surprise is to build a community of connection and opportunity. As an educator, John is committed to attracting a 4-year university to Surprise and working to create a sustainable economy that offers high-quality jobs to residents.
As a City Council member from District 4, Roy Villanueva brings more than 25 years of experience as Surprise Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council member. He was most recently re-elected to the Council in the 2011 primary election. During his many years of service, Roy has initiated many important improvements in the area of housing rehabilitation, economic development, utilities, police services, fire services, and federal grants. While serving as chair of the Community Development Block Grant Committee, Roy was instrumental in targeting these important federal dollars to improve housing, roads, streetlights, sidewalks, baseball fields, sewer systems, and other important neighborhood infrastructure around the city. He was also instrumental in developing important Surprise economic milestones, such as the West Point Town Center, and bringing Major League Baseball and Surprise Stadium to the community. Roy's goals include improving transportation in Surprise, enhance recreation programs for our youth, attract more job opportunities for residents, and working with council members to respectfully represent our city and the residents of District 4. Roy has lived in Surprise more than 35 years and has been married to Rachel for more than 40. He has 3 grown children, all Dysart High School graduates, raised in Surprise, and 1 grandson.
City Council member Mike Woodard represents District 5 and was elected to the council in November of 2007. Mike, a Surprise resident since 1997, is a retired widower and resident of West Point Town Center. He's been an active citizen in the community since 2001 as co-founder of the group Citizens for a Better Surprise, a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, a Sundancer volunteer, and an at-large member of the Citizen Bond Committee and a Senior Center volunteer driver. He also volunteers his time and efforts to the HOPE team at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America. His involvement in the city, combined with over 40 years of accounting and managerial experience in a broad range of industries, is valuable in the city's budgeting and planning processes. He is committed to bringing commuter rail and improving transportation corridors, major factors impacting the city's economic development strategies. Mike believes communication between the citizens and the council is of paramount importance and will be a top personal endeavor for him. Mike partnered in raising 4 children, numerous foster children, and is grandfather to 6 and great-grandfather to a beautiful baby girl.
A resident of Surprise since 2003, Skip Hall served on the Surprise Planning and Zoning Commission for 3 years and currently serves on the Sun Village Board of Directors. He served on the council as the District 6 member since 2008. Skip's goals for the city include additional east-west road crossings over the Awafria River, working with other transportation partners to enhance the Grand Avenue corridor, and attracting new businesses to Surprise. He grew up in Idaho and received a business degree from Seattle University. Skip is a Vietnam War veteran and was awarded the Bronze Star for Outstanding Service 1969-1970. Skip worked in the restaurant and lodging business for decades, opening restaurants in California, Oregon, and Washington, and earning a certification in hotel administration. He was involved in multi-unit management for 2 lodging